After years and years of finally waiting, we have access to Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. But is it worth all the hype? Well, I'm here to tell you that it might be, so stay tuned. Now, if you are a fan of the entire Mount & Blade series, and this game is probably not going to feel new to you, but I know for a fact that you are out there playing it. And I myself am a huge fan of the series. I love the other Mount & Blades with Fire and Flame and Warband, and all the mods you could add to these games really gave it life for such a long time. The game even made it to consoles, and that blew my mind. Right out of the gate, creating your character in Bannerlord is really cool. There's a ton of customizable features. You can make the dude or girl look like a horrible monster. And in fact, even if you hold R while creating your character, you could create a little child. But the world is still like made for adults, so all the weapons and horses look ridiculous, so I don't even think that's a real viable option. But you can make your character look however you want to, and once you've created your character, it asks you some basic Mount & Blade questions to kind of determine your path for the future. It asks you some seemingly innocuous questions like, how did your family die? Where did you grow up? Were you a blacksmith's son? And that's going to determine your starting skills for the game. And you do not want to choose wrong, otherwise you will get your face pushed in by every single looter and step bandit out there. And that leads me to my first point. Now, if you've never played any other Mount & Blade before, you're going to realize right away that you are terrible at this game. Everything inside is destroying you. You're getting knocked in the side of the head with arrows and you can't block for crap. And that is really what makes Mount & Blade so special. You see, in Mount & Blade, you're not special. At least not yet. You start off so terrible, it's not even funny. And this could lead to some very frustrating gameplay moments, but Mount & Blade and Mount & Blade Bannerlord realistically is the choose your own adventure type of games. If you want to do a whole bunch of side quests for random lords, you can. You could be some random dude in someone's army and join them, and that's how you're gonna rank up. But I don't know, maybe that's fun for you. That's not fun for me. What's fun for me is creating my own kingdom and recruiting whomever I want and destroying as many fiefs as possible. Basically, if you're a peasant in my game, there's no way you're living. I'm coming to raid your village and steal all your cheese and stuff. And Bannerlord seems to have updated all the stuff from the previous game. When you raid, there's more options. You could force the peasants to join you. You could force them to give you supplies, or you could just raid it for some time and pillage the whole village for everything. But while you're raiding with a very low skill, you may be attacked by some of the lords of the land. And if you're just starting off, you're going to get washed. The more I played Bannerlord, the more I realized that it was a little bit of a disconnection from the original games. In the original games, you can become super strong, and there were skills called Iron Skin, and you can take a whole bunch of damage. It doesn't seem like that in this new one. Yes, there's a bunch of different armors, and there's a blacksmith now, and you could create a whole bunch of weapons that is kind of a pain in the neck to do. But ultimately, it's you and your army that you fight with. If you think that you're gonna do a 1 on 30, heck, even a 1 on 10, you are sorely mistaken. You will not win that battle. At least not yet. If you're just starting off with your Iron Sparta and your damn Iron Shield, you're gonna lose every single battle. And there's way more intricacies in this one that weren't available in the original games. You see, when you use a two-handed weapon, almost like a giant battle axe that I use now, when you swing, you can now cleave through multiple people, which is something that couldn't be done in the other ones. But I think one of the biggest gameplay changes is what happens when you go to block or go to swing. Previously, the other games kind of had like an auto block feature where once you right-clicked, you brought your shield or weapon up, then you can kind of move what's going on. This one in Bannerlord, you have to block prior, then move to where you want to go. Same thing goes when you're attacking. If you have your camera oriented to the right, then you swing, it's going to swing. But if you start off from the left and then switch to the right, it's not going to do it from the right side. It's still going to stay from the left. And that takes a lot of getting used to, especially if you played the other games. And one of my favorite new features to this game is the ability to execute the damn other lords that keep attacking you. Like I said before, I play as a homicidal maniac that goes around from fief to fief killing everything. And if you attack me while I'm raiding that, you are going to die horribly. In Mount and Blade Warband, I used to have this one castle, and every single prisoner I took that was a captain, I would bring them to that castle and throw them in the dungeon for God knows how long. People would offer me 20,000 dinars to get them back, and I would decline it every single time because it was worth more to me to have them rot in the prison while I destroyed their entire ecosystem. But now in Bannerlord, they give me the even better option. There's a whole kill cam and everything. I could have the Lord sit on his knees and I raise my giant axe above his head and decapitate him. You lose so much respect and honor for doing that, but it's so worth it. The other day I did it so many times it said I wiped out an entire clan, and that's gameplay. And if you know anything about me in this channel, then you know that I love player-driven story. Anything that I can do that the game wasn't expecting that gives me a turnout, 2 thumbs up. However, I do have an issue with this game. Bannerlord took so long to come out, and there was a ton of player requested features like the co-op campaign. It took so long for this game to come out, and I want it to come out in the right way. It's still technically an early access game, and everyone knows how those feel, but we all wanted that co-op campaign. Maybe we'll get it sometime soon, but it seems to have, what, somewhere close to 10 plus years waiting for the game to come out? Wrong. What did you do in the last 10 years? Like, that's what I do not understand. This game in itself, and this is kind of a compliment and kind of not, Bannerlord in itself just feels like the very best mod to come out for Warband. And I think that would be the main issue for the game, is it just feels like the best mod around. Yes, they added better animations, the AI is much better, they're not constantly screaming in your ear as you're trying to assault their castle, but it does seem like they took no steps forward with their game as well too. Yes, you can get married and have children and execute people, but overall from a core gameplay perspective, nothing truly was really added to the game. That's not always a bad thing. I'm only saying that because the game took over 10 years to come out. This is ridiculous. And yes, I'm talking to all the peasants out there right now because I feel for you. The game definitely was supposed to come out on consoles. I remember seeing all of the headlines for it. They talked about it in the summer. It was coming to PS4 and Xbone. They constantly said it. And then when the game launched on PC, there was nothing. Silence. The devs said they never said it was coming to console. Maybe it would in the future, but it's definitely not coming out. So I feel for you. The game is very fun, but just buy a PC, I'm sorry. Although the combat in Bannerlord can feel very clunky, it's meant to do that, especially at the start. In your first 10 to 20 hours of gameplay, you're still going to be terrible. Your guy's not going to be great. And you have to understand that you have to rely on the army that you recruit or the army that you join. Eventually, your character's speed with swinging weapons will increase. You'll be able to block better and run faster and ride your horse better, but that all comes in time. I will say this. If you are planning on getting Bannerlord or just got Bannerlord and you're feeling a little bit sour to it, understand this. The game gets better the more time you invest. Like I said before, this game is kind of like a choose your own adventure, almost like Dungeons and Dragons in a way. Your character has to get better, but he won't get better or she won't get better unless you put the time and effort in to grow your character and grow your armies. So stick with the game, I believe in you. My ultimate decision on the game is that it is very fun to play, especially if you're a fan of the entire franchise. If you are a new player, you're probably gonna be a little confused. Definitely do the tutorial, don't skip things, put things on the easier difficulty until you can level your character up. My final verdict is that the game is fun to play, hands down. It does have some wonkiness that I know gets better over time, and let's hope they fix some of the small glitches and the visual stuff. And like I said before, the game itself feels like the best mod out there for Warband. Now that's not a full-on negative comment because Warband was super fun and it just needed some more things. And the mods kind of filled in those gaps, but from the main developer, I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting more of a co-op campaign. Yes, I was expecting the peasants to get it on consoles as well too. I do like the fact that you can execute people and I can play as a kid if I want to and get married and have children myself. But yes, the game probably should have had more in it for its very long development cycle. Ultimately though, I give the game plenty of forgiveness because even when the game launched in this time frame, it launched at a discount. I believe I got the game for like 40 bucks, and right out the gate on the main screen, the mod support tab is right there. I don't have to jump through hoops and do some random things. It looks like it's just a quick little plugin, and that is awesome that they are, you know, placating to the mod people out there. I love anyone that makes mods. You have my heart. I love you. You make games so much better because your mods don't stop doing it. You guys are amazing. If you like action games, medieval games, simulators, RTS games, you are probably gonna like Mount & Blade Bannerlord. I would say to get this game, I already know I'm gonna put thousands upon thousands of hours in this, and that's not even without me downloading any of the mods. Other than that, thank you for stopping by. I'm Rob from Downloadable Content, and please like the video if you liked it, disliked it if you didn't like it. I encourage you to please share my channel out if you want to, and subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.